Trading did not start ruining my account because my strategy was bad. It started ruining my account because I could not stop clicking. I used to think the goal was to find more trades, more setups, more opportunities, more action. And that mindset sounds productive, until you realize it is the exact mindset that keeps most retail traders broke. So today, I am going to give you the single rule that stopped my overtrading, stabilized my results, and made trading feel boring in the best way possible. It is the 2 trades a day rule. And before you roll your eyes and think, 2 trades is nothing, stay with me because I am going to tell you a story that will make you recognize yourself instantly. Then I will show you why 2 trades is not a limitation, it is a weapon. And at the end, I will give you a simple way to apply it starting tomorrow without changing your strategy. Let me take you back to my busy trader era. I would sit down at my desk, charts open, coffee ready, feeling like I was going to work, like I was doing something serious. The first 5 minutes were calm. Then the market would do nothing. And when the market does nothing, your brain starts doing everything. You zoom in, you switch pairs, you switch time frames, you start seeing patterns that are not even patterns yet. You start thinking, if I do not trade, I am wasting time. Then price moves a little, and you feel that small pulse of excitement. You enter. It goes slightly in your favor, then pulls back. You get uncomfortable. You exit early. Now you are annoyed because you were right but did not get paid, so you enter again. Now you are in a cycle. Not a strategy, a cycle. And the worst part is, you feel like you are working hard. You feel like you are grinding. You feel like you are learning. But at the end of the day, you open your trade history and it looks like a war zone. 10 trades, 15 trades, 20 trades, some wins, some losses, a lot of small mistakes. And the most painful part is not the money. It is the feeling that you cannot trust yourself. You promised yourself you would be disciplined. You promised yourself you would wait for quality. And then you watched yourself break your own rules again. That is the moment most traders start blaming their strategy. They think, maybe I need a new setup. Maybe I need a better indicator. Maybe I need a better entry. But the truth is much simpler and much harder to accept. Your strategy is not the reason you are losing. Your behavior is. And behavior gets worse when you trade too much. So here is the story that changed everything for me. One day I looked at my best trading days, not the days where I made the most money, the days where I felt calm, clear, and in control. And I noticed something almost embarrassing. On my best days, I usually took 1 or 2 trades. On my worst days, I took 10 to 20. That is when the light bulb hit. I did not need more trades. I needed fewer mistakes. Because every extra trade is not just another chance to win. It is another chance to lose discipline. It is another chance to chase, another chance to revenge trade, another chance to enter because you are bored, another chance to take a low-quality setup because you want action. So I gave myself a rule, 2 trades per day, maximum. At first I thought it would kill my profits. I thought it would make me miss everything. But what actually happened was the opposite. My results got more consistent, my confidence improved, my stress dropped, my trading became cleaner, and this is why. The 2 trades rule does not make you trade less. It makes you trade better. Because the moment you only have 2 bullets, you stop shooting at noise. You become selective. You stop looking for something. You start waiting for the right thing. Now let me explain the psychology behind it, because this is the part that makes it powerful. Most overtrading is not caused by greed. It is caused by discomfort. Discomfort with waiting, discomfort with missing moves, discomfort with being wrong, discomfort with boredom. When you feel discomfort, your brain wants relief. And the fastest relief in trading is clicking. Entering a trade feels like progress. It feels like you are back in control. But it is fake control. It is the same thing as checking your phone every minute when you are waiting for a message. You think it helps? It does not. It just feeds the addiction. The 2 trades rule interrupts that addiction, because now your brain knows you cannot click your way out of discomfort. You have to sit with it. And that is exactly the skill profitable traders have, the ability to sit still while the market tries to bait you. Now, here is the part that most people do not understand until it hits them. The market gives you a limited number of real opportunities per day. Most of what you see is noise. If you take 20 trades, you are not finding 20 real opportunities. You are manufacturing action out of randomness. And randomness is expensive. Now let me show you what happens when you keep overtrading, even if your strategy is decent. Your first trade might be good, your second trade might be okay, but after that, your quality drops. You start entering earlier. You stop waiting for confirmation. You take trades that are almost your setup. You get emotional after a loss. You get overconfident after a win. And now you are not trading the market. You are trading your mood. That is why the two trades rule works. It protects you from the version of yourself that shows up after trade number 3. Now you might be thinking, okay, but what if I miss a big move? Good question. Missing a move is painful, but it is not expensive. Chasing a move is expensive. Missing is a mental loss. Chasing is a real loss. Here is a line you need to remember. Missing a trade is not failure. Breaking your rules is failure. When you trade 2 times a day, you accept that some days you will miss moves. That is normal. But what you gain is something far more valuable: consistency. And consistency is what builds a profitable account. Not hero trades, not lucky streaks. Consistency. Now let us make this practical. How do you use the 2 trades rule without feeling like you are limiting yourself? You pair it with a daily structure. Here is the exact structure that works for most traders, especially beginners. You start the session with a simple plan. 1 or 2 setups you are willing to trade today, not 10, 1 or 2. You identify the levels before price gets there. Then you wait. If your setup appears and meets your rules, you take trade number 1. If it does not, you do nothing. And doing nothing is not laziness. It is discipline. If trade number 1 wins, you do not immediately look for another trade out of excitement. You stay calm. If trade number 1 loses, you do not immediately look for another trade out of anger. You stay calm. Then you wait for trade number 2. If trade number 2 happens, you take it. After trade number 2, you are done. Platform closed, walk away. And yes, that is the whole point, because the fastest way to destroy a good day is to keep trading after you should have stopped. Now let me address the biggest objection. What if I get 2 losers and my day is red? This is where the rule becomes a mental upgrade. If you get 2 losers and stop, you protected your account from revenge trading. Most blow-ups do not happen from 2 planned losses. They happen from the 3rd, 4th, 5th trade that you never should have taken. They happen from the emotional spiral. So a red day with 2 controlled losses is not a failure. It is a professional day. The market does not care about your feelings. It cares about your risk. 2 controlled losses is survival. Survival is the first requirement for success. Now, here is the part that makes this video go from interesting to life-changing. If you commit to the 2 trades rule for 30 trading days, your brain will change. You will stop craving action. You will start craving quality. You will start seeing your setup more clearly because you are not constantly distracted. You will start journaling more honestly because there are fewer trades to review and they are higher quality. And you will start building the most important skill in trading: patience. Patience is not waiting. Patience is resisting the urge to force. Now let me close the loop with one more story. I know a trader who had a decent strategy, good entries, good understanding, but he could not make money. He would win early in the session, then lose it all later, every day. So he thought his strategy was bad. It was not. His stopping point was bad. The moment he adopted 2 trades a day, something snapped into place. Not because his entries improved overnight, but because he stopped feeding the part of his brain that wanted chaos. And within a few weeks, his results became predictable. Not always green, but predictable. And predictable is the beginning of profitability. Because once you can predict your behavior, you can improve it. So here is the final message. If you are overtrading, the market is not your enemy. You are not cursed. You are not unlucky. You are just stuck in a loop where action feels like progress. The 2 trades a day rule breaks that loop. It forces you to be selective. It forces you to be patient. It forces you to respect risk. It protects you from revenge trading and boredom trading. And the funniest part is, when you stop chasing trades, trades start coming to you. because you are finally calm enough to take the right ones. Try it for 30 days, 2 trades per day, maximum. And if you want, in the next video I will show you how to pick the one setup you should trade inside that rule, so you stop being a trader who trades everything and become a trader with an edge.